Hello children, how are you all? I welcome you all to today's English literature class. Class 5, today we are going to do the last chapter of the syllabus, which is chapter number 11. It is on page 143 of your buzzword reader. The name of the chapter is Memories Are Made of Buttermilk by Shobha Narayan. Before I begin with the explanation, I would like to give you a brief introduction on Shobha Narayan. Shobha Narayan is an Indian author, journalist, and columnist. She wrote the award winning Monsoon Diary, a memoir with recipes. She is the author of 3 books. You all are familiar with buttermilk. Buttermilk is a fermented dairy drink. Traditionally, it was the liquid left after the churning of the butter from the cream. It is common in warm climates where refrigerated fresh milk sours very quickly. This buttermilk is very good for health because it is very low in calories and has a soothing effect in scorching heat. Children, this is a simple text penned by Shobha Narayan recounting her childhood memories of how her grandmother prepared buttermilk with her wooden butter churner. I'm sure you all must have seen your mothers using the churner to churn the pulses or to churn the curd while preparing a variety of dishes. So let us read this chapter. But before the explanation, I would request you all to read the lesson so that when I explain, you can understand the text well. Explanation of the story, chapter number 11, Memories Are Made of Buttermilk. Page 143. The narrator, Shobha Narayan, talks about her childhood memories. She recalls how, as a young girl of 5 or 6, she was drawn to the swishing sound which was coming from the kitchen. Her grandmother would be sitting on the floor with her legs spread out, and between her legs was a heavy mud pot. A tall wooden mattu or butter churner was placed inside this pot. Her grandmother would be busy holding the 2 ends of the rope which were coiled around the butter churner. She had often seen her grandmother in that position. The narrator, under her hands, slipped and sat down just like her grandmother. Together, they pulled the rope back and forth to churn out butter from thick yogurt which had been collecting for a couple of days. The narrator enjoyed doing the task with her grandmother. The speaker and her grandmother did not talk while churning the butter, yet she felt very much in place and very comfortable. She recalls how after few minutes heavy lumps of butter began to form. It was then that her grandmother poured cold water into the pot, and within few minutes butter lumps began to float on the top. Her grandmother would collect all the lumps together, shape them into a round ball. After that, she would collect the smaller lumps of butter and give it to the narrator to eat the freshly churned butter. I'm sure your mouths must be watering, isn't it? Page 144 continued. 10 years later, her uncle brought for her grandmother a mixie. You all know what is a mixie. We all have mixies at home, which mother uses very frequently for make grinding the spices or onions. Well, so her grandmother's son also brought a mixie for her. It made churning butter easier. She would now put the thick yogurt into the blender, added ice cold water, and press the switch. And after 5 minutes, lo and behold, the yogurt would foam on the top. The moment bubbles would form on the top, she added a little more water, and again butter would form. The grandmother would put the remaining lumps of butter into her mouth. And here I would just tell you why she was adding icy cold water, because if you add hot water, what will happen? All the butter will melt. That is why if you put icy cold water, then what will happen? They will all stick together and they will come on the top. So it will form a coating. So the grandmother would put the remaining lumps of butter into her mouth. Next, the narrator describes how a simple drink like buttermilk brings different parts of the country together. In this paragraph, children, you will see how the narrator is explaining different parts of India is consuming buttermilk. Like in Kerala, people drink buttermilk with fresh curry leaves called sambaram. It's a little sour and it tastes beautiful. In Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, buttermilk is spiced with crushed green chilies, ginger, curry leaves and salt. It is called nirmor or majigi. In North India, people have buttermilk with roasted and ground cumin. Cumin is also called jeera in Hindi, some salt, a dash of lemon juice, a crushed mint leaves which are called pudina, and it is known as chach. This watery light drink is excellent for digestion and cooling the body. People of Punjab enjoy their thick buttermilk mixed with fruits like mango, and it is very popular all over the world. And she also points out that the people of Bengal prefer to have the sweet curd or mishti doi instead of buttermilk, because Bengalis, it's a well known fact that Bengalis have a sweet tooth. Page 145. The narrator concludes the lesson by saying that everyone is fond of this drink. She recounts how near her house a pushcart vendor sells buttermilk to all the passer-by who enjoys a cool drink on a hot day. She personally prefers buttermilk to yogurt. Her grandmother has passed away, but she still has her grandmother's wooden butter churner. Occasionally, on a very hot day, she thinks of bringing out and setting it up with two coils of rope, just as in her grandmother's kitchen. With this, I come to the end of the explanation of the chapter. It's a very simple text, and I'm sure you all will enjoy reading this. And next time when you will have buttermilk, you will have lots of information to share with your family member. Children, in an interesting manner, the author has brought together our country by using the example of a simple drink like buttermilk. Moreover, through this lesson, she has given us a message to always remember anything which is a symbol of our history and tradition. These simple traditions are dear because they have a lot of memories. We ought to protect and respect our heritage, because only by learning about our past we can prepare for our future. Thank you, children. Have a good day.